2.
All right, all right. What up, everybody? Welcome back to Football Fan Talk. I'm your humble host, Big G.
It's your boy, Raider Mike. Ready.
Raider Lady 19 is in the building. Let's do it.
And it's the young architect man back at it again. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and start with what we think of last week's games. Go ahead, Raider Lady. Go ahead, start us off.
Last week game, man, what was the championship or divisional rounds? Rounds, right? Mm-hmm. Starting with on the AFC side. What can you say about? I mean, I knew the Bengals were good, but they're showing that they're going to be there for a while. They're going to be there. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying? They built that team right. They built it, you know, with a star quarterback. But hey, it took a lot of losing to get to where they are because they did have a number one pick. So, and they got the best quarterback in that draft that year. And so they just building it in the trenches how they supposed to. I mean, even with it, the dude just got moxie. You know, he knows how to play, and he plays with the confidence of a person who know what they're doing out there. And it kind of like go through the whole team to me. I just like their whole attitude, how to get down. And so they just beat Buffalo. Buffalo, they didn't show up. They didn't show up, period. You know, defense didn't show up. They got showed up at home. So that was a good one. And just, what can I say about San Francisco's game? San Francisco, they remind me of the Ravens. You know, much as I hate to say it, but they remind me of that team. In not that their defense is as prolific as that Ravens defense, because that was a high scoring defensive team. I don't think San Francisco is that. I think they can be scored upon. They play a 2-3 scheme. Basically, it's very similar to basketball. When you got 2-3 on one side, you have to attack it in the on the posts and on the seams and things like that. And if you don't, you try to keep it in front of you, then you have what you saw last week happen in Dak, them jumping routes. Saw it, you know, that little version of the West Coast, whatever they play over there. I've seen that before. All right. And so San Francisco, in that regard, they're gonna march their way with that one. And then who's that other game? I can't think. I'll come back to it. Who is it?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Yeah. Jacksonville and who else? I didn't even watch that.
KC.
I didn't even watch that. I did watch it. What am I talking about? I didn't see the whole game. All right, I'm gonna say. But Pat Mahomes, twisted ankle, high ankle sprain. He came back and played. They didn't really. I was surprised he came back. I don't even think they
really
finished that. I knew he could, but I was surprised they let him because I thought they had pretty much control of that game for the most part. It wasn't in the whims, whatever, so to speak, and they came back and played. But they got that W. Get ready for these games this week, though. So that's all I said. Those teams stuck out to me.
Okay. Raider Mike, did you get your synopsis yet, or you good to go?
Oh no, I didn't say nothing yet. You know, you
always give it to me, man. Give me a little something.
Figured upon the games, and she hit the head on the nail about Dallas. That was a game that was a good game, but she hit the head on the nail. He throwing right into the coverage and where they can jump the route. So I just think that, like I told you before, where was it going to be won at? It was going to have to be won by Gallup or CeeDee Lamb, deep passes. I told you they got to throw up. Somebody had to go downfield on them because you got to get them out of that damn coverage. And they did it late, and Dak was not accurate on the throws. If he had been in the neighborhood of where the receiver was, he would have came down with the ball. But you know, you tip your cap to the 49ers defense, and the defense is what won that game. It wasn't Purdy. Purdy didn't have his Purdyest game, but one thing I could say about him, I give him his credit and I'm giving him his props. He has a lot of poise, and he didn't make any mistakes. He didn't throw the ball into coverage where its jump routes were. He threw the ball where he was supposed to.
Two of them passes should have been picked off.
Yeah, two of them should have been picked off, though, but he got lucky. Put it this way, he had a little luck on his
side. Hit Trayvon in the face.
You know what I'm saying?
Right in the hands. It hit him in the bad spot, the hands. That game, you know, I mean, is, you know, you give 49ers a credit, but Dallas lost that. It was their game to win. I just felt that early when they got that first touchdown. It was, if they didn't score 2 touchdowns in that game and get a couple of field goals, I knew there was a moment. I just knew that they'd have to score at least 2 touchdowns and get 2 or 3 field goals. That would have won the game, but they didn't do that. 49ers did their job. Their defense did their job, and and then what else can you say about the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, they came and gave the Giants a beating. They gave them a beating. Now, if they play like that this week against 49ers with a rookie quarterback in there and all that pressure they had on old Daniel, he wasn't dropping dimes. He was dropping bricks on Sunday. He was shitting bricks, So I think, I was impressed with the Eagles. I'm impressed with Jalen Hurts. I mean, I knew he was going to be good. See, I knew he was going to be good because when they was doubting him, I said, nah, he got a chip on his shoulder. Going to show them that he can play quarterback in NFL, and he looked damn good doing it. So we got to give him his credit. And then, what else? The Chiefs game, I mean, give Trevor Lawrence his props. He didn't quit. Jacksonville didn't quit. They stayed in that game. They hung in there. They didn't win. But one other thing, Joe Burrow, like I said, that's the man, though. I mean, that's the best young quarterback in the game right now. As far as young quarterback, I didn't say the best quarterback. I said the best young quarterback. What is this? His third season? In his third season, he's the best young quarterback. Sorry, Justin Herbert, it's not you. It's Joe Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. Bottom line. But
by
that's
far, by far.
He got the ice in his veins, and he had the poster up there on the pitch on the damn screen to just show it. That one picture they showed of him. Yeah, that represents him all the way, all day. But that's all I get out of it. I mean, it was a good weekend, except for one game. Didn't want the Niners to win, but hey, can't have everything.
Okay. Well, I'll go next since we didn't announce the records from last week. Did you, G? Or Architect? You didn't mention.
No, I did not.
All right, we're gonna let the champion go last, man. If we didn't tell you yet, young Architect, he went 4-0 last week, called all the games right. Raider Lady 19, she went 3-1, and me and Raider Mike both went 2-2. So we'll let the champ go last, give his analysis since he hit it on the head last week. But for me, the Eagles, man, all year long, y'all been, Raider Mike, Architect, can give me a little hard time for not giving them credit, you know what I'm saying? But I'll admit, I was hating, man, because they, I knew they were high powered. When Jalen Hurts, once he got command of the offense, they looked totally different. That team looked like they was just unstoppable. And as a Cowboy fan, I just couldn't admit that. But, it became evident. And the Giants were the second phony team left in the playoffs. The Minnesota Vikings was the first one. They just so happened to play them the first game. That was, a battle of the paper champs. And then the Giants beat them. So Eagles did what I thought they would do. When it came to playing the Giants, they just mopped them up, and then what's quarterback for the Giants? Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Oh, Vanilla Vic. He didn't look like Vanilla Vic this week. Not this week. And then in that KC Jags game, man, I'll tell you what, the Jags, man, once they get what's his name, is it Ridley? Don't they have him?
Yeah, they traded for him.
Yeah, they got Ridley. Once they get him next year, man, I'll tell you what,
that's a little three-headed monster, dog.
Prince Charming, he's gonna be that guy. He got all the tools. If you watch that game, he was driving the ball. He'll run when needed. When he runs, it's effective too. And the Jags, they're just a couple of pieces away. They're gonna be right there. And like y'all said, he definitely supplant Herbert as far as that top tier.
Sure.
Going in, watch, you can tell going into next year. I think the Chargers are due to start that slide too. They never did ascend to where people thought they were going to be, and next year they're going to
That's
start
true.
sliding. So
That's true.
all that stuff that talk with Herbert, that's all going to be over and done with. And then the Buffalo Bengals game, Burrow did what Burrow does. You know what I'm saying? And Josh Allen did what Josh Allen does. You got the bad version of him. Sometimes you get that version where he has a couple of electric plays that wow you, but after starting off kind of hot this year, the Bills just, they just were a team. They weren't elite. They didn't show that they were a part of the top tier of teams. So they definitely took a step back. They don't have a running game. They needed Allen to do too much. They put too much on his shoulders, and he hasn't proven that he could be a quarterback that you could put all that on his shoulders and he'll succeed. He needs his pieces to be in order. So, like I said, Burrow did what Burrow does, man. That dude, he's the real deal. He may shake out to be, Mahomes 1 and he may be 1A. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. And the fact that he's undefeated against Mahomes says a little bit too. But then we get to the payoff. Cowboys, Niners, man. I'll give the Niners credit. They beat us soundly because we got the bad version of Dak. And I looked at that game. There's basically the thing that stood out to me. There was a few things. Offensively, Dak, he is the Black Kirk Cousins, man. You know what I'm saying? This is who he is.
No, DC, he more like Derek Carr.
Yeah, I'm like, man, because there was 3 throws. The two throws to Lamb and that one throw to Gallup. If he hits those 3, we're having a totally different conversation. And then when Pollard went out, we had no electricity coming out the backfield. Zeke is back there looking like a freaking plow horse. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he had a harness on him, and he is, plowing dirt for lay down some cotton.
Feel like he's plowing 10 farmers on his back.
Yeah, and it's too bad because, I really like Zeke, man. But, he had a lot of touches at Ohio State. You know what I mean? He's having 300 touches a year and coming to Dallas. You know what I mean? It's just too much. He's only 28, 29 years old, man.
His legs out. Shit.
And look like he about 40. So, kind of the same thing happened to him that happened to Marion Barbarian. Them legs, they go.
Todd Gurley, too.
Yeah. Once them legs go, running back, you're done. But what that defense did was laid out a nice little blueprint, I believe, for the Eagles, man, because Purdy didn't look the same. He was back there dancing some. McCaffrey, you didn't hear his name a lot that game. Debo, you didn't hear his name a lot that game either. They got saved by Kittle. Kittle, he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? But, the Cowboys had 54 sacks all year. The Eagles had 70. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys secondary suspect. The Eagles secondary is number 1. Playing out there in Philly is not going to be the same as playing at home. So we'll see how that goes, man. The blueprint's out there. Niners, see how they do. And, that's my takeaway from last week.
Niners struggle with running quarterbacks, and that boy Jalen Hurts can move.
Yeah, I said it, and I've been saying that they struggle with the read option quarterback.
Mm-hmm. All right, Architect, lay down the blueprint from why you went 4-0.
Well, I'm gonna start off with the easy one: the Eagles and the Giants. I saw that one coming from kind of a mile away. Not necessarily the score, but definitely them, giving them a nice beating. I at least thought the Giants would be able to score maybe in double digits. You know what I'm saying? At least like 10 points. But it just goes to show that the Eagles with Jalen Hurts and him being, whether he's fully healthy or not, but with that shoulder not bothering him, they're arguably they showed you why they're one of the best teams in the league. Jalen Hurts, I think he is a finalist for the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. I doubt he'll win MVP because I don't think they want, one of us to win one of them awards. The Offensive Player of the Year, yeah, he might get, you feel me? The Chiefs and the Chiefs and the Jags, man, a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be. I thought the Chiefs were going to be a little bit more dominant in this one. But like you said, it goes to show that Trevor Lawrence is definitely head and shoulders above Justin Herbert, especially in my opinion, because for me, Justin Herbert, he hasn't shown anything yet to where he can be like, oh yeah, this is my league and I want to take it over. Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, he's going up against a powerhouse and the Chiefs and the guru, that genius that Andy Reid is, and you mean to tell me that Doug Peterson, who is his protege, you know what I'm saying? He almost did it. You know what I'm saying? They almost did it. Cowboys and the Niners, man. Hey, not gonna lie. If Mike McCarthy not gone, I know y'all just paid Dak. I know Zeke got $90 million, but they gotta go. Like, I'm sorry, Dak. You want to talk about mediocre quarterback play? Yes. Like, don't get me wrong. Brock Purdy didn't play great, but he did more than enough to not lose the game for the Niners. You know what I'm saying? Like Dak, those 2 picks, albeit not all of them were necessarily his fault. Still, those 2 picks were very crucial. You know what I'm saying? And he's been known to do that, especially as of late and in the playoffs. And a little fun fact: Dak and Tony Romo have the same record when it comes to the playoffs. They're both 2-4, and they're both 0-3 in the divisional round.
Damn.
So you want to talk about, whatever it is, or I've even heard some people say, "Oh, Tony Romo would have did this." That's not true. I looked it up myself. I didn't believe it at first, but that's a fact. Same record, and it's funny. You look at it as like the Cowboys' defense was great. So hopefully going into next year, whether Mike McCarthy's not there, which it's looking like he will be right now. Something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. And for me, the big one, the Bengals and the Bills. This right here kind of showed me Josh Allen kind of reminds me of Phillip Rivers.
Good analysis.
He'll have all this talent around him. He'll get you as far as he possibly can. He'll make these big throws every now and again. But when it comes to that big game, he can't get you there, man. He just can't. And this isn't the first time that we've seen Josh Allen kind of like not step up when he's needed to step up, which sucks because for Bills fans and for people who want to say Josh Allen is the second best quarterback, Joe Burrow just showed you that he very much is the second best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. For me, it goes Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow. And then under that, as far as this year, if we're going based off of this year, I'll throw Jalen Hurts into the third conversation just because he's leading that team. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen, he's got to prove something. He's slightly above Herbert to me because you want to talk about all this hype, this generational talent. They want to compare him to Cam Newton and whatnot, but even Cam Newton led his team to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton won an MVP. You know what I'm saying? Man. I would definitely say like if Josh Allen's career continues to go the way it is, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard that Phillip Rivers like comparison a little bit more. But that's what I saw when I watched that Bengals game. Someone just have a meltdown.
Shout out to Nick Sirianni too.
For a fact.
Yeah, like he was looking into the camera a little bit. I seen him, he was looking at that camera. He was like, "We here." He had a little bit of that in him. He looked into the camera, purposely looking for that camera. Like I like how you had his team back like that.
Yeah, you can tell like certain teams, they have that connection to their coach. They have a connection to their coach's personality.
Yep.
They have that swag to them. So with that said, I guess we're gonna get into the final four. You know what I mean? We'll pick the Bengals and Chiefs first. We have the Bengals visiting the Chiefs. Chiefs were favored by 1 point at last time I checked. Bengals, they're 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games on grass. The Chiefs are 0-5 against the spread against a team with a winning record. The Chiefs are 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 home games. The Bengals are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 meetings between these two teams, and the home team is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings. So Raider lady, you
Ooh.
started off. Who you like in this game?
This is gonna be a fun game just to watch.
And yeah, and give me the score too.
Okay, this is gonna be a fun game to watch. Pat Mahomes said he today's practice for him went a lot better than he thought it would. So I don't think he's going. He's still a young man, so Bone you can bounce back rather quickly. I don't think it's going to be like a lot of people say, "Oh, you'll be out 3 to 4 weeks, possibly if it was regular season, whatever the case." I think he's going to be a lot more spry than people think. But I like the Bengals. I just do. I mean, I like everything about Joe Burrow. I've been watching him play since LSU. I just like the way he plays with a certain level of confidence, and like I said, just control of the pocket. I like how he move in the pocket and he gets hit and he just gets up. It's like it's no nothing. Like I've seen the dude get sacked like 5-6 times in a game and come back and win.
Yeah.
When you can do that, I mean, you got your people with you and they together. And I like the way they play. And so they know it's a defining moment for them. And they want to show that if it's gonna be a rivalry, it's gonna be between us in the Kansas City. Now, well, not the one that everybody wants, but that the national media wants, which is Josh in Kansas City, based off of that playoff game from last year. It's Joe Burrow and squad. And so I just like the way they play. It's gonna come down to me to them running games. Who's gonna have a better game, Joe Mixon or the Pacheco guy?
Pacheco.
Yeah,
I like Pacheco though. I like Pacheco. He's nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be to me like the deciding factor. Who's gonna be able to take control of the game? Who's gonna be able to, just like I said, take control of the game and have the ball more. It's gonna come down to who runs better, Joe Mixon, the Antioch Cat, or the other guy. So Bay Area ties. So I'm rolling with I'm rolling with the Bengals, and to me, this is gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think either team is gonna hit 30. I just don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. So I got Bengals 28, Kansas City 21.
28-21.
Yep.
All right. Raider Mike, who do you like, man?
Well, you got to go ways. But Joe Mixon, ain't he really originally from Frisco, I think, but he did go to Antioch High. Something like that they were saying. Because I know his auntie works at Food Max, one of his people, and she was talking about it. He called her and said, "You didn't see me on TV?" Yeah, so that's her nephew, this lady at Pack and Say. But that game to me is gonna boil down. It's gonna be some scoring in that game. As long as if it ain't snow, if it's Joe Burrow just put 27 up in the snow. Joe Burrow finna put up 38 in the cold. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be 38, 34. 38, 34, I'll take that. But this, I'm gonna say 38, 34. It's gonna be some scoring. Cincinnati's gonna run the football better, and that's gonna allow them to win this game. Joe Mixon is better than Pacheco. Everybody know that. He's gonna show that. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna play timely defense. Neither team will stop each other really. But Cincinnati will stop them enough to win the game. And they got the quarterback. He cooler than Lake Michigan. Joe Burrow, and on a winter's night. So you know how cold Lake Michigan get. So I got to give him his credit. I knew he was going to be good, but I did not know he was going to be an elite young quarterback that fast, because he has the moxie, he has the toughness. He got it. Whatever Joe Montana had must have got DNA'd into him. They done put it in him because he got it. I mean, he got everything. You can't ruffle his feathers. You can't punk him. He keeps getting up and keeps playing. And you gotta admire that. You gotta wish we had it. Wish we had a quarterback like that. But we won't talk about that. We're talking about him. So I just think that they beat him. What Joe Burrow has beaten Patrick Mahomes 3 times, and this is gonna be number 4. So if you want to get something started, they getting it started right now. Who's an elite? Because he's beating these quarterbacks and knocking them down. You know what I'm saying? Joe Burrow is getting on top of the damn mountain and knocking them all down. So I got to give it to. So I'm going with Cincinnati. I got you. That's what I'm picking.
Okay.
Ain't going against them this time.
All right, Architect, who you like?
It's funny. I kind of had a similar score to Raider Mike. I had 38-35. But I think, you know what I'm saying? I think, and originally when I first on paper, when I saw everything, I was like, Kansas City they're gonna be Kansas City. They're at home. But then you know me, I like to do my research, I like to do my history. The last 3 times these teams have played, I'm gonna give you the scores real quick. You got 31-34, 27-24, and 27-24. All to Cincinnati. So this only tells me that this game is gonna end within a field goal. And quite frankly, even looking at the all-time series between these two teams, regular season and playoff, Cincinnati leads 18-14. So I think Cincinnati is gonna do it again. I think Joe Burrow again. I'm a big LSU fan. When I saw him come in and he had that historical season, all that good stuff. Like you saw it back then that he had something special, and him going into other people's houses, i.e. Josh Allen, i.e. Pat Mahomes, the last 3 times they played, he has something in him, and he has yet to be stopped. You know what I'm saying? I think Cincinnati's going to win this one 38-35.
Okay, all right.
I like his level of toughness. He does.
I do.
He's like, to me, like Josh Allen tries to play the tough guy, starting stuff with your teammates and all that. It's that,
Yeah.
Like
I think too. Like,
but
we've
Burrow,
seen, like,
he just got the hip hop personality. When I mean like that, I mean he know how to take subtle shots. I like that. I like that. He'd be like, I hear y'all talking. I like the way he, how he handled himself. And so
like Raider lady said, like, think about it. Last season when they were in the Super Bowl, he got sacked 9 times and they still almost won that game.
Right.
9 times. This is ridiculous. Come on.
Well, let's see. Am I gonna make it a clean sweep for the Bengals?
Yeah, because you like going with numbers.
I am not. I've been looking at everything this week, man. I mean, I know usually I go numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? Head to head, Burrow's 3-0. You know what I mean? They've had the last 2 times they played were identical scores, 27-24. And so in the time before that, it was 34-31. You know what I mean? So there never has been a game below 51 points scored between these two teams. So it's going to be somewhat high scoring. But man, everybody, I've never seen something where you got the Chiefs, #1 seed at home, and you got the best quarterback in the league, and everybody says you're going to lose. That has to offend Patrick Mahomes because just imagine
it do.
You are freaking Michael Jordan. And freaking everybody's saying, man, Clyde Drexler's about to come in here and get you, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's just something in the athlete that burning desire, because all the players hear the same stuff that we're hearing. Everybody's Burrow. And even me. I mean, he's good. The dude is coming. But I think old Patty Melt and Andy Reid about to take this game real personal, man. And I think they will themselves to victory. I see it coming.
One thing can I say one thing?
Go ahead. Say what
Just one thing. It's not Drexler, it's Kobe.
When did Kobe play against Mike for a championship?
Nah, he didn't, but I'm just saying about.
That's what I'm saying. So the analogy does not make sense.
I'm talking about the mentality. I'm talking about the mentality.
I'm talking about head-to-head playing. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're playing against somebody and they telling you that somebody's better than you. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody's coming to take your place.
Better than you because you have not beaten them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the caveat. That's the caveat.
Exactly.
Is now, are they in your head now?
Exactly. And I think Mahomes is about to take this real personal, man. And I think it's going to be the same score as it always is. The 27-24, except I think the Chiefs get them, man. I
Mm,
think the
it's
Chiefs-
gonna be a
I
good
think-
one.
I won't be surprised if the Chiefs win. I won't. But
I'm not.
Right.
the way
I'll be
Burrow
surprised.
playing right now, shit.
I'll be
I just
surprised.
think
I just,
too much
man,
pride.
I think the Joe Burrow want to snatch that title. He want that title. He's like, I'm better than you.
Hey,
You know,
hey,
I mean, he wears a fur coat to the game. Stop it.
that's why it's gonna be
Come on.
classic.
With a chain
You
on.
hear me?
Okay.
With
Like,
the iced out chain.
It's just something to be said
on.
when somebody's just coming at you, and they're just coming in your house trying to
mhm.
eat all your food. You know what I'm saying? Wipe their feet on your couch. You know what I'm
He been
saying?
doing that. I know
Right.
you watch Dave
Saying.
Chappelle. He came
He done
in.
did it a
He
Fuck
couple
came
your
in.
times.
couch.
Yeah.
Fuck your couch.
Stomping his couch. He been stomping his couch. He been walking
Hey,
on
for
the
real.
couch and stomp your couch.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good game, though.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
good. It's gonna be
indeed.
good for
It's a
sure.
good game.
Next up, got the big game where all the Bay Area interests up in here. I'm sure Tito, you want to hear everything that's going to go down on this one. We have the 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 2.5. 49ers 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 playoff games. 4-0 against the spread versus teams with a winning record. Eagles are 1-5 in their last 6 games in January against the spread. Favorite in this series is 7-3 against the spread in the last 10. And the 49ers are 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 meetings with Philadelphia. I'm gonna let Raider Mike start this off, man. Who do you like in this?
I've got the Eagles 24-20, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think they're gonna. I just think the Eagles run. They both equal runners, but the Philadelphia set themselves apart because the quarterback is so explosive running, and he's throwing the ball incredibly well right now. You got to give Jalen Hurts his props. I think he's going to play better than Purdy. He's going to do what Dak Prescott didn't do. He's going to outplay Purdy and not make the mistakes. And the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Dallas defense played as well as I've seen them play, and they played their asses off for nothing, for a loss. But the Eagles ain't gonna play their ass off for nothing and for a loss. They finna come through a W. Their offense is going to be more efficient than Dallas was last week, and that's going to be the difference. Efficiency in the red zone. They get in the red zone, don't turn the ball over, score points, touchdowns, not field goals. You got to have touchdowns to beat the 49ers. Can't beat the 49ers with field goals. You have to make them into a field goal team. You have to score touchdowns. That defense is just that good. If they get 24 points, you're not winning. So I think the Eagles win that game 24. No, I'm gonna say 27-20. I ain't gonna do 20. I gotta say 20. I would say 24-20, but I'm gonna say 27-20. Philly is gonna win that game because the sack exchange is coming. He got hit by the Cowboys. He got hit by the Cowboys. Cowboys sacked him 4 times, but they hit him the whole game. Right? He was a different quarterback. The Eagles gonna sack him more than 4 times. He was different. He looked like a regular quarterback, didn't he? Dallas defense made him look regular, except for their defense was superior. At the end is why they won. And it wasn't really that. It wasn't really, you can't even say the 49ers defense was superior that game. They were good. Dak Prescott would have thrown them balls down the field, like I said, instead of trying to throw that short shit in the middle where they all packed in there and like Raider 1960. They could jump the routes. You got somebody right fucking behind you. I'll be jumping the route too. If you missed what you missed, the other one was gonna pick up. And that's how he got the pick. But that's my pick. And I'm not saying I ain't no 49er hater. I mean, I don't like the 49ers, not my team, but I just feel that 49ers win this game, their quarterback is gonna have to win this game.
Okay.
It's gonna be the game of the quarterbacks this Sunday.
All right, Raider lady, who's your pick?
Yeah, this one's gonna be a good football team Game 2, hard hitting. It's gonna be really physical. It's gonna be a real physical football game. It's really gonna be a game of who can out physical who in
Yep.
this game. Like seriously. And to me, for the 49ers to have a real chance to win this game, their defense has to score. They have they literally got to score. They have to score a point. They have to put points on the board. And if they can do that, or if they do turn them over and they turn them over in the other team's territory, meaning that they only got to go 15, 20 yards. Because I'm telling you, the Eagles have only given up 135 yards per game in the air. 135 in these playoffs. That's best of any team has been in the tournament. So what that tell me, that means that people having problem with them up front for real.
Yeah.
If they only giving up 135 on the back end. So, and San Francisco giving up 250 on the back end. So what I'm saying is if they're not able to turn him over, it's going to be difficult for them to win. It's going to be difficult for them to win. That offensive line is you can hit the quarterback. You can hit the quarterback. And so I don't, Purdy only threw for 190 last week. I don't see it getting any better this week. As good as he's playing, as good as he's holding up, he's still a rookie. He's still, literally, you can't say he's not a rookie because he's what, 8 games in? Technically, not, he's playing in that second season, but I don't see how they're gonna be able to pull it out. I just think Philly is a better team, just better team overall. So I got Philly winning this game 27-24.
Okay. Eagles 27-24. All right. I'll go next. Since Tito's in that chat, just thinking we all just picking the Eagles just because we hate the Niners. I don't hate the Niners that bad, man, to try to lose my picks just picking against them. I just come with the facts, my brother. Here are some facts for you. Purdy's been on the road 3 times this year so far, right? At Arizona, he faced a backup. That was a tough game for the Niners. Versus the Raiders, he faced a backup. That was a tough game for the Niners. And they beat Geno up in Seattle. Okay, 3 road games. I don't see any of those environments going to be even close to how it's going to be Philly. Football environments, not that, it don't have that intensity. And it's a playoff game to go to the Super Bowl. So it definitely didn't have that same intensity. And in NFL history, there have been 4 rookies that started in championship games to go to Super Bowls. Let me read off a little something for you. There was Mark Sanchez. He lost 30-17. 2 TDs, 1 interception. Joe Flacco lost 23-14. 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Ben Roethlisberger, he lost 41-27. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And Sean King out there with Tampa Bay, he lost 11-6, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What I'm saying is it's tough for a rookie to go on the road and win a championship game against a good defense. And let's see. Both team had more games where they had 150 yards before contact by their running backs than the Philadelphia Eagles in NFL history this year, which means they've run the hell out the ball, as evidence for running for 286 yards last week. The Niners stopped the run well, but that's going to be tested. We're going to see. And then they have the best offensive line in the NFL. They have 4 players with at least 10 sacks on defense, man. So all week we stay in the Bay. So all we hear is Niner and all the little stats. This shit here, this is impressive. And they have the number 1 cornerback tandem in the NFL. So it's not going to be a cakewalk, man. And the Niners, you have a good defense. You know what I mean? Like I said, unfortunately, I think the Cowboys put out a little recipe to shut y'all down. You didn't hear Debo's name last week. You didn't hear McCaffrey's name last week. You know what I mean? Ayuk made a couple of catches, and Kittle did his thing. All that being said, I'm going to take the Eagles I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game because both defenses are going to show up. And like Raider Lady said, it's going to be a hard-hitting game. But I think Hurts will play better than Purdy, partly because he's at home, but partly because he's just better. There's a reason one was drafted so high in the draft and the other. This is when the chariot turns into a pumpkin.
Ooh,
You know,
harsh.
this is when it happens, man. Sorry, young Tito, man. You think it's hate? It ain't hate, man. I congratulate you. If you win next week, I'll say, hey, y'all probably win it all. But I don't think you get past the Eagles, and I'm gonna take the Eagles, and my score is gonna be. It'll be close. It will not be a blowout, I don't think. I'm gonna say. The Eagles have not given up more than 20 points in about 6 weeks. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be like 27-17 Eagles. As for that, say. All right, Architect. Give it to us, man.
Dog. My first question to myself when I saw this game, I was like, is Jalen Hurts going to be able to do the same thing that Nick Foles did? You know what I'm saying? Nick Foles, he led his team to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? A la, you know what I'm saying? They ended up having to beat Tom Brady and whatnot. But we want to talk about it like everybody's been doubting Jalen Hurts. Everybody's been saying that he's not this guy. He can't do this. He can't do that. And quite honestly, I've been saying this since he was at Bama. Yeah, he lost his job to Tua, but he went to Oklahoma and did his thing. He got his chance. Yeah, he didn't do great his rookie season, but he got a real receiver. He got a real receiver, and like I said at the beginning of the season, it was going to be Jalen Hurts' season. And so far, he has shown that 100%. And then on the other side, I look at it as Brock Purdy coming in when he came in week 14, with an already loaded team. He been on coast. You know what I'm saying? Since he got entered into the starting lineup, ain't had to do much. He's kind of had to steer the boat, hold his hands on it tight, make sure it don't go left or right. And he's been doing a pretty good job at it. He was a little rattled by the Cowboys, absolutely. But like all good things, you know what I'm saying? There's something that's holding them down. There's something that's sturdy. And right now, Brock Purdy is being held down by that defense who really hasn't been budged much this season. But then again, you look at the Eagles, who, quite frankly, like you said, you can't even make it up. 4 players with 10 plus sacks. You look at it defensively. Everybody wants to talk about the Niners defense. Everybody wants to talk about the Niners defense, but the Eagles defense, and you want to talk about getting to the quarterback, they have done that. And the Niners O-line, don't get me wrong, I love Trent Williams. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but he only plays on one side. The Niners have Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and all these guys. Nick Bosa could only play on one side. You know, he's probably going to play on the left side because Lane Johnson is a beast on the right side. But all in all, man, I think the Niners are going to squeeze this one by because they're riding that momentum. They're coming in on an 11, 12 game win streak. Like, that's the hottest team in football right now, for being honest.
Mm-hmm. True.
Bengals and Niners, yeah.
The only thing Brock Purdy has to do is hold on to that steering wheel. It's already in cruise control. He don't have to press the gas. He don't even got to press the brake because you basically riding on Highway 5. Ain't no traffic.
Nah, he gonna have to press some gas. You can't win without pressing gas, bro. Not this week.
The defense. These two defenses are going to battle each other out. I want to talk about offensive games. Absolutely, I think the Eagles' offense is going to do much better than the Niners' offense, but I think the Niners' defense is going to have to really hone in and really be like, okay, we got this. And for that reason, I think this is going to be an extremely close game. I think it's really going to come down to a field goal, if that. I think it's only going to be 2 or 3 points that separate this game. But I ultimately think the Niners are going to squeeze this one by and win 30-27.
And he's
Right.
scoring 30.
And I
Yeah.
think
That means
and I
that Purdy's making throws.
Yeah. A
You
lot
just
of
saying
That
throws.
he
mean
said he
that
had to
mean he
keep his
making
hand on the
he's
throws.
gonna
steering
hit
wheel.
some. He's gonna hit some
You
people
just said he had to
that are
keep his
wild.
hands in cruise control. If he had to
He
keep his
got to
hands
keep
in
his
Yeah.
hands in cruise control
he
because
ain't,
he's good.
he ain't throwing the
Look,
ball then. He handing the ball off then.
He got to
here's the
make
thing though.
throws to
Here's the
score
thing
that
though.
much.
You want to talk. You
You
want
don't
to
have
talk
to throw
about
the
something
ball to
too.
do that.
Like they say, like
You have to turn into Joe Montana.
Kittle 8 against the Cowboys, right? It's gonna be a Kittle. It's gonna be McCaffrey out of the backfield because Ayuk and Debo are gonna be shut down from Bradbury and Darius Slay. If you look at it everywhere else, I get it. There's gonna be pressure and those two outside, so they're gonna be. You want to talk about a West Coast offense that Bill Walsh stuff? That's what's gonna happen.
So that ain't, just to let you know, scoring 30 points on that defense is not cruise control. Boy, that's putting your foot on the
Yeah,
gas
you are.
to get some things done. You know what I'm saying? But hey, both games are 50-50 games. Anybody could win. You know what I mean? This is nothing more than analysis by dialysis. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens,
Definitely
And
gonna
with that said, that's a short one this week. Hopefully everyone will join us back next week. We're gonna let everybody sign off.
He ain't gonna be able to throw knuckleballs this week. He got to throw fastballs. Knuckleballs this week, young Art. He got to throw fastballs this week. So this is your boy Raider Mike signing off, and the Eagles gonna be having a champion sauce on their tongue on Sunday.
Raider Lady 19 sided out. I do, whether who's playing, I like to see this type of football because it is the best of the best who make it to this
4
to this-
teams
to make it to this point. And so you're gonna see some good, hard hitting, old, to me, like almost old school football.
Yeah.
It
Do it again next week.
looking like boy.
Yes, sir, man. It's the young architect, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's Jalen Hurts season, but I did pick the Niners to win the Super Bowl. So,
Well, it must not be his season. You didn't pick him.
All right. And to our most loyal person to the show, man, Tito, it's not personal, bro. It's not personal, man. It's just business. One love to you. And with that said, like, share, subscribe, join us next week. See if somebody on the panel goes 2-0. See what happens. See
Might
y'all
be
next
3.
week.